Hello, this is going to be a random facts video about Elon Musk. So, let's get started. Fact number one, he almost sold Tesla to Google. At a dire time in Tesla's history, Musk actually reached out to the CEO, Larry Page, about buying the failing car company. Now, according to a book that was written by Ashley Vance, the two of them actually agreed on a sales price of $6 billion back in 2013, but the sale never came to be at all. Another little known fact is he actually dropped out of Stanford. So he was going to Stanford University, and he wanted to pursue a doctorate in physics, where he really was interested in. But he decided instead he left that school to start up his Zip2 company, which he sold later for around $300 million. So that was back in 2007 or so, before he bought, around the time that he sold PayPal. So without him, we would not have as much innovation of digital transactions, wireless transactions, and basically online shopping in general, because he pioneered eBay and PayPal. So, yeah. And another fact number three, he actually owns a James Bond car. So he actually bought a Lotus Esprit, for about $1 million. He wanted it because it was the 1976 version. It became an underwater car for James Bond in this movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. So he actually said that was the inspiration for designing the Tesla Cybertruck. He also has a lot of children, which you probably already know that. His latest one with Grimes, and then several others that he's got. And he has literally been on everything from where he played himself on The Big Bang Theory. He played Elon Musk on Rick and Morty. He's been on The Simpsons and The Musk Fell to Earth, and in South Park as well. So he's literally been in everything. And he actually was the inspiration for Tony Stark. I'm Tony Stark with a James Bond sprinkle tossed in. I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Wigglevoss twins. Data, commander to start, but I wouldn't expect you to understand an org chart. So you're mine, with the top balls. I'm spitting fire like a mine sauce. You can't sneak up on Zuck, I don't even blink. I'm the CEO of knowing what you think. That was pretty clever. I love that rap battle. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. I don't even blink. Alright, but yeah. He was the inspiration for Tony Stark. Which, if you didn't figure that already, that's pretty obvious. He's also from South Africa. Then he moved to Canada, then to the United States, but he used to work at PayPal. He co-founded X.com, which was an online banking company. And then that merged with another company from PayPal. And the e-commerce company then made eBay. Then eBay bought PayPal in 2002. They paid $1 billion with a B, $500 million. Musk, being the company's top shareholder, he made at least about $175 million on that deal when PayPal bought X.com, or whatever, turned it to eBay, and so then eBay and PayPal were sold. So if it weren't for him, we would not have PayPal and eBay. Obviously, he's the richest person on Earth, with his own space company, rocket launching, satellite service, satellite internet, rocket missions to Mars, tunnel travel with his boring company. That sounds funny, boring company, but pioneering internet service, satellite internet service, and cell signal. He's working on a new phone service called I think he called it X, or was it the X phone or something like that? I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. Elon had a phone that he's creating. It was let's see, the Tesla phone, was it? Let me look it up really quickly. I think he was coming up with I think it was the Tesla phone that's going to rival iPhones. PiPhone, the Tesla PiPhone, and it's supposed to hit markets December of 2022 as a really just groundbreaking smartphone. But even though he wasn't the founder of Tesla, he was the biggest investor in Tesla and their funding, and then he just reshaped the whole company and made it into what it is today. He used his PayPal money that he made after creating PayPal to create SpaceX. So without that, the Ukrainians would not be getting any internet and cell service. He bought it with $100 million that he earned when eBay bought PayPal from him. Another interesting fact is he actually inspired the creation of a solar energy company. There's a company called Solar City that was founded in 2006 by two of Musk's cousins, Peter and Lyndon Rive. And Musk invested $10 million in the company very early on. So he held a seat at the top of their board, the very top of the chamber, the board members. So he held the very top seat. And then eventually he acquired the entire company in 2016 for $2 billion with a P, $600 million, and rebranded it, calling it Tesla Energy. He named one of his sons after a comic book character, Professor X. So that's one of the reason why he chose to name his son that. He actually has Asperger's syndrome, which it's a milder form of autism. So you've heard of autistic savants, but he's like on another spectrum, another level of that. He's raised a lot of awareness to that. And everyone's experience is different from what he has, because his is on another mental level, another psychological level. And his mom is a model. She was actually on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover back a couple of years ago, I think. And she was 74 when she did that, making her the oldest person ever to be on the cover besides Christy Brinkley. And before buying Twitter, he owns Twitter now, but before doing that, he actually has been tweeting for a long time. He was actually one of the earliest people to join Twitter back in June 2009. So, 13, about to go on 14 years he's been on Twitter. As I mentioned earlier about the Boring Company, it will be able to transport people and goods more quickly than any surface roads with traffic, and maybe even evacuate people during extreme weather events, such as tornadoes and hurricanes. He also doesn't take a salary at Tesla like many people think he does. He takes no salary there. His actual Tesla, they say, is in space. So they played this particular song in it as like a joke. And then he put something about the history of Earth in it, and then floated it into space or launched it into space, and they say it's out there. I don't know. And when he was just 12 years old, Elon Musk invented a video game. He created it, coded it, and I think it was called Blaster. He sold it to a video computer magazine in 1984 for just $500. That's how he got his start. So, and then he guest starred on Saturday Night Live. His SNL appearance was just a couple of years ago, and he pioneered digital transactions, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, so on and so forth. And it was inspired by a meme, I think from Poppy, where they said a Doge. And then he's basically become a character, an entrepreneur, and put himself into every aspect, every facet of people's lives, from studying artificial intelligence and its negative aspects and effects, and trying to counteract it and prevent it, to all this stuff. He's ahead of the curve, trying to. Not only he's working on a technology for telepathic communication, which I think that could have negatives, because if you upload your dreams, you upload your daily life, and it tells too much about you. It's like really creepy in a way, putting that to the cloud, and your consciousness. It's not really you. It won't be you. You know what I mean? But he says that's 5 to 10 years away when we telepathically communicate with Neuralink. He claims it will take away your pains. I mean, I'd be glad to remove sciatica and fibromyalgia and pains. I'd be glad to do that, but you know, that would need further testing, and I don't want something in the head or forehead or right hand because of my personal belief. But you know, we'll see how that winds up. But I mean, he says that his technology, they asked him, why are you invested so much into artificial intelligence if you fear it or you don't trust it? And he said, because it's dictating every facet of our life right now, from our personal choices, our politics, where we're going. Like, it'll tell you the best route and dictate it immediately on maps. It is manipulating your mind in a way of when you're shopping, when you're looking on it, reading something, it'll say, here, buy this, recommend it for you. This is on sale now. And it's listening to what you're saying. He said it's listening to everything you're doing and targeting you with those particular circumstances. So you've got to stay ahead of the curve, and he is investing in all of them so he can monitor and watch them. He said, you can trust me. He said, you can't trust them. So he said it is a dangerous event. He said eventually we will be at war with or using AI. It'll be about it or against it, because he said that basically, you don't think about it, but think of these data centers. Every time what you're pulling up right now, this is going to be uploaded to my account in a data center. And those server farms are housing those data centers with those hard drives with these files in it and multiple copies everywhere. You request it, the internet sends it to you. But with what we're seeing right now with censorship, the AI can put my videos out there or not put them out there. They can keep me from being seen, or keep certain candidates from being seen, or keep certain, politicians or certain stores, businesses, and people from their social media accounts being seen. AI can, like Elon said, literally, I don't know if it was on Joe Rogan's podcast or what, but it can literally scour the internet and change every article about someone that it wants you to think in milliseconds, whereas humans would take forever to look through all of that data. It is aware of it and can change it in real time, and that's dangerous because it can manipulate people to feeling certain ways, and that means we're not really making our own judgment, making an informed decision. So he wants to invest in all of it and stay ahead of the curve, make sure that things don't go awry, but we're heading down a direction. He said we'll be merging with it. He said if you don't merge with it, you can't beat it if you don't join it, type of thing. But I know where that's going personally, and I'm not really pro that. So, but anyway, interesting facts though. He is a very intelligent guy, and it's really interesting all of what he's done, and for one thing, he actually used to sleep on the floor of his company, and he was down to $1 and almost lost everything. Then in 2008, and his wife left him. Then he took out a loan and bought this company and then sold it, and then used that to start a rocket company, SpaceX. And then that made him worth billions, like hundreds of billions. And literally the richest person on planet Earth. And his net worth then exploded by 650% in 2020. So, he's one of the most interesting individuals. To be honest with you, he's one of the most interesting individuals on Earth. But honestly, he actually, my legs are asleep. But he actually had only $1 a day to spend on food back in the day. So he knows what it was like, he said, to come from the poor. He also opened up a frat house nightclub, so his Pennsylvania classmates were running short on cash, so they opened up a nightclub in their frat house. That was also a little known fact. I already mentioned that he dropped out of college, bought the Bond car. He really wants people to go to Mars. He actually owned 6 mansions in Bel Air. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So that's another little known fact is, he always says Ad Astra. The school has the fitting name Ad Astra that he went to, which is Latin for to the stars. That's a fitting name for him, correct? I had to stop the video before my legs started cramping. I sat there for too long in that position, but anyway, he actually genuinely fears a Terminator-style Skynet, so even though he invests in the artificial intelligence companies, he actually does have a fear that Terminator can come true. And it's something that he genuinely has talked about many times. And he has a lot of experience with technology, and he is an unstoppable force in he's even working on and brokering international affairs. Basically, he's even involving himself in these international affairs that we see taking place around this world right now. And he actually genuinely fears artificial intelligence poses one of the greatest threats right now to humanity. Just as Skynet, the artificial intelligence system in that movie, did as well. But here's the thing that I differ on. His solution is to put computer chips in people's brains to fend off any possible attacks. So his idea is that, how AI is something people don't think about because it is connected to the network of networks that make up the internet. Every smart socket, smart bulb, smartphone, tablet, TV, interconnected vehicle, watch, business, computer, everything. Every camera, smart camera, home security camera, surveillance camera, street camera, every one of them are all in that system. So artificial intelligence is already connected to it. So it's aware of what people are doing on top of your digital ID of who you are, where you are, decisions you've made in the past, decisions you're making now, and it's able to basically put you in a similar type of situation to the social credit system that China's doing. And if you watch the current trends toward a digital dollar and toward the, I think we need to remain with both, because the other poses too many security risks of hacking the human mind. And people think, oh, that's just sci-fi. But if you connect something to the motor neurons of the human brain, there are positive ramifications, but there are negative ramifications that can happen. There are positive and negative aspects. If you put some sort of a chip in the human brain to fend off any attacks where you're aware of it being aware and stop it ahead of time, you also lose your humanity, sort of. So there's a company that he funded called OpenAI, and it's to research ways to do this so that robots don't kill us all. And he created a company called OpenAI, and it's researching ways to keep artificial intelligence and robots to not kill us all. So, it's weird. He seems to know things and also seems to know them before they happen. So, who knows? I mean, it's sort of a slippery slope. For one, a lot of people don't think about, it's like, hey, I want to send you a picture, okay? Let's take this picture. Okay, you take that picture, and millions of pixels are breaking that picture down. And that hard drive that it's stored in, it's in codes of zeros and ones. And those zeros and ones comprise the image you're looking at, and then the pixels make the image you can see. When you want to send that to someone, people don't even comprehend the massive amount of complexity that not only artificial intelligence but technology is doing. When you go to open up, for example, a text, and you attach a picture, and you're about to type that person's name, the phone knows through Google, the system knows based on one letter who you're likely to text it to, or who your recent contacts were, because you've got them from your Google Drive. And when you sent that last text, it knows that person was the last person you messaged, so you're likely to message them again. That's a form of thinking. It sounds little, but it's a form of it. But then people don't even comprehend the complexity of certain situations. Like, it's when you post something online or send a picture to someone, it's got to break that picture down into code, a bunch of zeros and ones, and each zero and one represents a small packet of data, and it's got to break those packets of data down, digitize that picture into code. And that code has got to be sent out through an antenna, electromagnetic wave or frequency. And that's sent through your router or cell tower or whatever. If it's sent through a router, that's a whole other scenario. Like I was saying to one of my family members, when I'm sitting right next to you, but I send it out through an AT&T phone, that's actually going through the local towers, but it's going through Alpharetta, Georgia. And basically it goes from the servers in Alpharetta, Georgia, and it breaks these down south in Georgia. It breaks the picture down into multiple sets of zeros and ones, sends it all across this country, sometimes all over this world. And then those packets of data, just like mail with an address, are looking for the IP address of the person's phone number that you requested to send it to, and they're searching for it. And all those packets of data have to route all across this country, all across this world, and then back through that local cell tower, and then find their phone, and each packet is then sent as impulses of light through the optical fiber system, the fiber optics cables. Then it reassembles on the other end of that person's phone that might be right next to you, but it's still that complex. And then it goes, back into the phone, and then ding, they get a notification. They see the picture. I mean, all that's happening. And in that coming system, if they want to shut you off from buying or selling or getting something to eat or drink, they can stop you from it. And that's the dangers of it. And it's like, oh, this person's a threat. This person said something that they don't agree with, like the CCP does. And that's where that's dangerous. But it's amazing the complexity that we don't think about when we send pictures to each other. Alright, that's all about Elon Musk for now. Sweet dreams, and I'll catch you later. Subscribe, like, share, and donate.